There you go, Wade, just for you. See? No irrigation this morning. Haven't done any of that. No, can't do that. Just the sunrise. I gotta tell on myself, though. I thought I needed 2 pipes out this way. Yeah. I'm gonna show you where 2 pipes would have took me. It would have been just right once I was down there, but unfortunately there's this and a little mark right there, and the one this side of it, that's all muskrat or nutria damage where they ate it out and high water washed their dens out. So, and yeah, got a little extra water down there this morning. Pretty sure that won't be there later. There is one spot right there is actually a spring that a couple years ago we irrigated enough to repercolate it. And yeah, that's been repercolated again. But the standing stuff over there, it'll probably be gone by noon. And anybody wants to know, I'm just going to throw a guess out there because I haven't measured what we get out of this since the first year we ran it. Running it about as slow as it'll go. We lay down about 5 inches of water. I figure we're doing at least 3 or 4 with this gun. That's why the little one that's still sitting over there. Oh look, bright spot on the hill. Cows walking around. That one is only like a 5/8 nozzle on the end of that gun. And it's only it's metric, but it's roughly a 2-inch hose. That's why we drag it out twice, is to actually get somewhere reasonably close to what this one's doing. Try to keep things even. And yes, that's another heavy deal. I walked out of the trailer this morning and looked on the barn roof, and the barn roof was dripping. It's acting more like very late September, early October. Has been for like 2 weeks now. I mean, heavy dews happen, but yeah. Anyway, I just spin you around aimlessly, see what you can see. Can't see the neighbor's lights on in their house now, so they probably shut them off. But the orb, and if you remember, it wasn't too awful long ago, the orb was coming up over there. Oh well, that's enough rambling. So many words I could say right now. Just so very many words I could say. When I changed from a ring to a hook on that pipe the other day, I knew it wasn't too far from the end, but it was far enough to seal. Okay, that being said, if that's in the end of another piece of pipe, there's nothing there to make anything move. It'll lay flat and it will seal. Being here, yeah. So, me, yeah. I watched the gun get going, then I couldn't see it through the trees. I thought I should still be able to see it. Of course, being down there in the bottom, looking into the sun and trying to look into the shadows over there. Yeah. But hey, Wade, this is not an irrigation video. It's an irritation video. There's a difference. So, I don't know what to do. And that particular piece of pipe does have a bad spot in it where it's leaking. It's got a ding. I know it's not this one, but it's a ding about like that. It's got a crack. I think it's about in the middle in here. Pointed down, of course. So now, do I just get mad and take it up and cut it off and reset that down here to the end? So it's onto another piece of pipe, which will actually get me better length where I want to go, but at the same time, it ain't worth it. So I'm going to go down and get me some tools and hopefully reset that. You can see where it used to be, but that's been a long time ago. Yay. Well, I don't know how well you can see these little buggers. They're actually dipping this morning. I don't know how much of it is they're dipping water and how much is they're grabbing maybe the water spiders off the top. I don't know. They're not dipping much, but every now and then one will. Oh, I see what they're after. They're grabbing bugs that are just off the surface. Yeah. But a lot of times they'll scoop a little water and get a drink. Right before I turn the camera on, one just did it down there. Right about, I don't even know where my finger is. Right there, one did it. Anyway, there's your barn swallow action for the morning. Most of them are still up on the power line, but one really dipped down there. Hopefully that showed up. Here's that first piece of oats we planted. For some reason, it's not cutting worth a damn, and I slowed way down over there. I mean, it's getting something, but give you an idea how tall it is and isn't. You know, it's a foot tall, maybe a little more. This piece actually has pretty much everything's headed out. You know, maybe it'll regrow, maybe it won't. But it's really bugging me that it's not cut and clean. Right in front of me, I sped back up and it cut alright. Those couple of passes, 3 passes, I was going slower. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to turn around and go over it again. The ends are cutting pretty good. It's the center that's not. And I even did what Ray had mentioned. That's rocked all the way back. So it's supposed to get, quote, as much vacuum as it can to lift the crop. And we do have lifters on the turtles. So, I mean, it shouldn't be because it's laying on the front. But very well could be, I don't know. At any rate, yeah. And I actually started carrying the mower a little here. This ground, it never got enough rain on it to settle it. You know, it rained right after we planted, but it didn't settle the ground any. So these new shoes, the ends are not polished yet. We're grabbing. So I'm carrying it a little bit, not much. That's going to be an interesting freaking day. On a positive note, I then messaged me a little bit ago, said she got the tansy pulled in the little piece I'm going to next, and was taking a break and gonna go do the other piece. And my plan was to be there in about another 20 minutes. I didn't plan on going so slow here. Ain't gonna make much. I don't know. Unfortunately, if this crop's going to do anything, it's going to be next year, not this year. So if we cut it now, maybe it'll regrow for next year. Because what's there, that ain't going to make a seed crop. Not enough of it came up, you know, to bother to set seed. There's a lot down there. Just, you know, only like every probably 10th one came up and put a head on. Well, the only thing I know to do is go over it backwards. My back swath's a little hard to go over backwards. It looks like shit, but there was the first swath I did, went over backwards, and it's doing it, and that's what it was leaving. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's not really between discs, but it kind of is, and it doesn't make sense, because, yeah, the knives are a little different than what we run. But the only difference in them is the back corners on the mounting end. The corners are rounded instead of squared. They're the same length. And then it wasn't consistent. Now there's 2 rows I'm going over, actually 4 rows I'm going over, that most of it didn't cut. Then up here there's like 3 rows. So I don't know. But going over it backwards seems to be cleaning it up about as good as we're going to get, I guess. It's just kind of hard on part of it to see where I've been. It's this side over here along the road, most of it, what you can see anyway, cut pretty clean, but there's spots that didn't, so I don't know. And of course, you know, going backwards don't line up the same. Gotta move over and figure out where I didn't go. And, you know, it is what it is. There it is. Actually saw more material on the ground the first time over, but there's a spot. Another spot there. So, hopefully the rake will pick something up. Otherwise, I guess it needed to get mowed off anyways to see if it's going to survive.